Hey girlies, it's Tara.
And it's Lissie, your favourite FaceTime besties. Well, we better be anyway.
Obviously. Welcome to an episode of Navigating Your 20s with us. We hope you enjoy.
And just a reminder, girls, we are absolutely not trained experts.
We are just girlies too, so don't take anything we say as gospel.
So I'm thinking, let's just try and figure out this whole 20s thing together. What do you think, Tara?
I think that's what we're basically doing every day together, babes. So let's get straight into it.
Welcome back to the podcast.
Woo! Sorry guys, we are having some technical issues this morning. Tara couldn't find her headphones, so she's using her big ones. So I do apologize if the sound is like weird. Let us know in the comments if it isn't great, because we'll know for the future not to use these.
Yeah, they look cute though. I love them.
I know, I do feel quite like
podcasty.
Yeah, I do. You're so right. That's exactly what I feel like.
We just need like the hanging microphones coming down.
Yeah, literally. I looked everywhere this morning. It's been a bit chaotic, guys, but it's okay. We're here. We're ready. And nothing cheers me up better than a little podcast with my bestie.
Too right. How's your week been?
What have I done? I don't even know.
Hit the shops.
Yeah, that is actually true. I have just been hitting the shops. We've just been going out, going shopping. I got some cute, I'm in my American era, I got some cute camo pants yesterday.
Okay.
But everyone was wearing them and everyone looked so cool. Like girls were just wearing them with like a white baby tee and some like Birkenstocks, and they just looked like effortlessly
so cool. I love that.
Cool. So I was like, you know what? I want a pair of those. And then
absolutely.
We've just been like eating out. We went and got Mexican yesterday, which was delightful. Some tacos. And yeah, I've just been hanging out really.
Nice.
Not much to report, guys. I promise, like when I'm in New York, I'll be like, so I went here and I did this and I did that and I did that. But right now it's just family time.
You're in your chilling era.
I am in my chilling era. And guys, if you knew me, you'd know how hard that is for me, because I overthink everything in my life. So I'm really trying to embrace this like type B, just goes with the universe flow, Tara.
I love that. And it's snowing where you are?
Guys, wait, I wonder if I can show you. Wait.
That is so mental.
Like, it's actually, I woke up this morning and because my bed's here, I looked out the window and I was like, what, pardon? Like, it's snowing in April? But
that's so weird. It was also so hot the other day. Like, I'm so confused.
I was literally wearing like shorts and a t-shirt and I was like, oh my gosh, Lissie, it's so hot here. Like, and then today it's snowing. So that's my life. How about you, Boom? What have you been up to?
My week, it's been kind of chilled, to be honest, this week. I mean, the weather in the UK has actually been lovely. It's been like 20 degrees and sunshine, which is bliss.
Delightful.
I'm absolutely loving it. Yeah, I've just had quite a quiet week, to be honest. I actually saw my grandpa for brunch this morning, which was lovely.
How is he?
I know, yeah, he's good. He's just got back from Canada. So yeah, that was nice. And it was actually really delicious. I had a veggie breakfast, which is kind of weird because I'm normally like a meat eater. Yeah.
Mate.
Literally. But I was like, I'm kind of in the mood for a bit of avo, halloumi, some poached eggs. Yeah, it was lovely. And then George's mum actually viewed another house for us, but it was giving brothel. Yeah, like she was like, what the fuck is this? And sent us a video. She was like, I've got one video of like part of it. She was like, I honestly just knew it was going to be a no. And I saw this video and I was like, genuinely, what the fuck is that? Like, it literally looked like a brothel. I was like, that doesn't look healthy to breathe in, to be honest.
It's so annoying. Like,
I know.
Where are the good houses? But I did say to Lissie yesterday, guys, I was reading my manifest book and I sent her a picture. Because also I didn't wake up to a morning text from her, which like didn't make me very happy. I woke up and I had no messages.
Like, just to clarify, I don't appreciate the no message. I was like, noted.
I was like, this bitch has been up for like 7 hours. You haven't wanted to text me? I was like, I'm needy, Lissie. Like, you know this about me.
It's okay, and I was like, you'll get a morning message tomorrow.
She's shooting with like all the other girls, and I was like, oh, I get it. Like, out with the old and with the new, right? I'll just go fuck myself then. I was like, all right. Oh no, I was just feeling particularly needy because I'm on Mother Nature. But I text her because I was reading the manifest books by Roxy, and in it was like, if you're trying to manifest your house, like you should like visualize every part of it. And I sent it to Lissie. I was like, you manifest everything you want. Like you are a manifest icon. So I was like, this is what you need to do.
Thanks, girl. Yeah, and I really appreciated it, and it was actually very insightful. You know, like I was like, I actually love that. I was like, let me just do that now.
Yeah, I have no doubt if you for like a couple weeks were literally sat there in the morning visualizing your house, because that's apparently when you're supposed to visualize is morning and night.
Oh, interesting.
Oh yeah, you're supposed to manifest in the morning when you wake up and at night, and like tell yourself your mantras at those times, because that's when your brain is in a certain state, and that's when it's more receptive to like truly believing the things you're doing.
Wow, that is so interesting.
Yeah. So morning and night, babe. I want to see you manifesting that house.
Yeah. To be fair, I do normally do morning because I normally wake up, do a workout, and then I do my manifesting. So I do usually do morning, but evening, let me read out those mantras before I go to sleep.
It's supposed to be like when you're relaxing in bed. It's something about like your brain starts to go. Also, you need to read that Let Them Theory book. Oh my God, I found it so interesting. 7 out of 10 people live in a constant state of stress without even realizing.
That makes me sad.
And like your front part of your brain that's supposed to be in control of like making decisions and what makes you proactive turns off as soon as you're stressed, and it goes into like your amygdala, and that is your fight or flight response. And some people are living in a constant state of that without even realizing, because they're letting life stress them out in like an unhealthy way.
Wow, yeah. That's a fact of the day if I ever did hear one.
Yeah, guys, I'll start bringing them. I'm really in my fixing my brain era, because like now I'm quite healthy. Sorry, this is a side note. We don't have to actually put this in the podcast. Did you see my close friend's story? I'm emotionally healed.
I don't know if I saw this.
I listen to all my crash out music now. I don't feel anything, Lissie. You know how I am about music. I don't feel a thing.
Oh my God, Tara. Oh my God.
No, see, now, okay, maybe we will put this in the podcast, because I need people to know how big of a deal it is.
This is staying.
Like,
wow.
Like all my playlists that I made for the December, January situation, and all the people involved, listen to all of them. When I was driving with the mountains in the background, felt nothing.
Okay, this is impressive. Colorado has done wonders. That
Tara's emotionally healed.
That fresh air has really done something.
But I'm kind of like, wait, like I need to hurt my own feelings, because I want to run the New York Marathon, and I run my best when I'm like...
Yes, I do so get that, to be fair, because I've actually done my fastest time. This is so random. I never, by the way, guys, I never run really further than 5K. Like, that is just that's my vibe. And I was in France, and I remember it was last year, and I don't know what was going on. I was just like very, very like just angry and sad.
So unlike you.
I know, and I think my dad, it was just before my period, of course, and I think my dad, like, it was something so pathetic. Like, I was meant to go on a dog walk with my dad, and then my dad, like, decided not to, and I was like, what? And, like, I took it so personally. I was like, I never spend any time with you, and, like, I thought we were going on this dog walk, and it really hit home. Like, I don't know what, but it sent me over the edge. I was like, fuck this, I'm going for a run. Anyway, put in my music, I was so angry, I was like crying on the run. I was like crying in the middle of France, like through all these bloody vines. And I did my fastest time.
Wait, I'm so sad you've never told me this, because that is so funny.
And my mum was like, it's okay. Like, I was like, no, it's not.
Mom, I can't talk right now.
My dad was like, literally, my dad was like, I'm so confused. Like, did I do something wrong? I was like, yes.
You disappointed me, Dad.
Literally.
I do genuinely think it's a thing. Like, you run better when you're, like, feeling your feels. And, like, I ran 100%. A half marathon to some very specific songs. And then I've been running recently with everything that happened with those people who were just, like, I was like, oh, like, I'm running so well because I'm so angry. And I just have been feeling nothing. I'm like, I don't have anyone to daydream about. I don't have anyone to be angry at. Is this what it's like to be emotionally healed?
You're like, wait, I need something to mix it up.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, I was going to hurt my own feelings this weekend, but the plans have changed slightly because of some stuff. But
yeah.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I just wanted to let Lissie know because she didn't respond to my close friends, and I was offended because she knows that
I'm really bad at
music is my
watching
life.
people's stories. Like, I'm really not a story watcher.
I'm gonna literally be like, I'm gonna start sending them to you.
Yeah, please do. What else did I do this week, though? I did a massive deep clean. Oh my God. I cleaned
You
out
love one.
every single cupboard. I cleaned out the fridge. I took everything out of genuinely out of every single crevice. And like, I cannot even tell you how good I felt after. Like, I felt like God's
I'm
gift.
jealous.
It felt
You are
incredible.
good at like deep cleaning though. Like,
do you know what it is? I feel like it's kind of like, but I feel like I really notice it when like the season changes. I'm like, I need a fresh, like when spring comes, I'm like, I just need to deep clean. And boy, did I deep clean, and boy, did it feel good. But oh my God, I had my bloody UTI. Me and Tara were messaging at like 4 a.m. and it was actually kind of fun. I was like, why am I enjoying this? I need to go back to sleep. I was awake for 2 hours.
oh, fun. I know. I did think because she texted me at 9:53 p.m. my time, which is 4:53 her time, and then started sending me TikToks, and I was like, "What is this woman doing awake?"
You know how cold my bathroom is? So my bathroom is like down the steps, and I don't know what goes on down there, but it's like literally like an icicle. Anyway, I was obviously down there. When I get a UTI personally, like I just cannot get off the loo. Like I cannot get rid of that feeling of needing a wee. And this is so TMI. This is so TMI. I'm so sorry, guys, but whatever. I was sat on the loo for 2 hours. And I was so cold. I had my dressing gown wrapped around me, George's dressing gown wrapped around my feet. I was literally there for 2 hours. It got to 6 a.m. I then did the boots thing. You can now do like an online boots thing and get antibiotics. You have to pay, but it's like 20 quid. They never replied. I was like, cool. They were like, you've had the antibiotics in the past 6 months, so we can't prescribe you again. You have to go to your surgery. I was like, really? Like, I forgot you weren't allowed to have a UTI twice in the space of 6 months.
Can you
do you know what I mean?
Go to the Boots doctor in the Boots by you?
Well, I just did it online. It was the Boots doctor, but just online. I guess you could maybe go into store, yeah, but I didn't.
If you get it again, you can go into the one...
Yeah.
In that, like, back section, because I did that. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't understand why you can't have antibiotics twice.
I don't know. I think they were just like, because it can affect like your kidneys and stuff. And they were like, if you've had it more than once in that space, then like it could potentially be like it might turn into a kidney infection or whatnot. So I don't even know. But that's as far as my week went. Like really not very exciting.
Yeah, sorry guys. We will like, you know what? Spring always brings...
Summer's always fun. Hot topics this week, though. I'm dry this week. I have no fun information. The only piece of fun information which I saw, and I was like, that's kind of crazy. You know Mr. Beast? He's a YouTuber. He's like the biggest YouTuber in the world. You wouldn't have watched any of his videos. The only reason I really know them is because the kids I used to nanny for. No. The kids I used to nanny for loved him. Like they were obsessed. He's like, yeah, he's the biggest YouTuber in the world. And guess how much he earns per month?
Oh God, do I want to know?
It's mental. Like this is mental behavior.
$1 million?
3 million. 3 million a month. Imagine. Like, isn't that crazy?
I would be happy to earn 3 million in a year. I think I'm the richest person in the entire world.
Literally. I would even be happy with 3 million in 2 years.
I'd be happy with 3 million in my lifetime, if I'm honest. Like, like,
I know, like literally mental. Like, imagine turning
on YouTube
3 million a month. Like, absolutely absurd. I've dyed my eyebrows again.
I wish this was clear. It was clear on FaceTime, but they looked good on FaceTime, so
thanks, girl.
I am gonna trust them. But I feel like they just look more defined now.
That's what I think. I think they are just a bit more defined because my hair's quite light. Like I feel like the end of my eyebrows were always a bit invisible. So yeah, anyway, this week we are discussing dating. We've done the long term. We've done the what was last
love
week?
Languages, exes.
This week we're doing dating, something which is unfamiliar territory for me, to be quite frank. But we're going to be discussing like dating apps, red flags, green flags, ICKS.
Feeling confident in yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So should we start off with the dating apps? Because taken away because I'm unknown to the dating apps. I find it a bit of, do you know what? And I don't know whether this isn't because I have dated, but I find dating apps just really, I can't get to grips with it.
I am trying. Okay, I go through cycles, and I feel like this is such a common thing with girls, where you like go through a cycle where you're like, I am gonna re-sign up to the dating apps. I'm gonna see what's out there. I'm gonna put myself out there, and then you do it for a couple of weeks, and you're like,
Some of the men that I've seen on my friends' dating apps, it's mental. Like some of their like captions, like they actually make me feel sick. I'm like, what in your right mind makes you think that is okay to say that? Like, what are you doing?
It's just hard. I think. Okay, so guys, I have like all three. I'm a girl. I have Tinder, Hinge, and Meta. So she's got the trifecta.
She's experienced.
Yeah, she's experienced. I went on a Tinder date in London. That was like, to be fair, that was a really good date. I just didn't like feel anything like when we kissed, which I feel like is like, you should. Like, people were like, oh, like it grows. No, it doesn't. You either feel it or you don't, especially on a first date. Like, come on.
I think especially with something like a kiss, like if you don't kiss, then I can understand how you might like get to know someone more and it may progress into more. But I think if you do kiss, I do agree, you kind of either have that feeling or you don't.
Yeah, I'm like, you either fancy them or you don't. Everyone's like, it grows. I was like, I'm not growing to love my husband. Like,
it's a first time thing.
And everyone saying it to me was in relationships. I was like, I don't need to be in a relationship, guys. I very much enjoy being single, but it is fun. First, I think the pros of dating apps are that you can like see what's out there. You can like speak to people without the pressure, like especially if you're not somebody that goes out that much. I mean, I go out all the time, but if you're somebody who like doesn't like to go out that much, or you're struggling to meet people because you have the same guy friendship group or something like that, they are good. I would say I've had like equal experiences on all of them. I don't think any are like better than the other. I think Hinge in London got a little bit like too cool for school. Like I feel like people on it were very like trying quite hard.
Right.
I don't know, like I felt like the profiles were almost like, you know, when you look at something, you're like, this is so curated. But it is hard.
A bit like OTT. Like, what are you trying to prove? Do you know what I mean?
It is hard to show your personality on like a dating profile. Like I find myself hilarious, but how do I show that to the men out there? Raya's quite fun. Sorry,
yeah, that is fun because they've got famous people on there. So I would love to see that. I also think though with pictures, like what picture do you put on your dating app? And for men especially, like I do sometimes think it's hard for a man to like get, I mean, I don't know if this is going to sound bad, but like it's maybe harder for a man to get a good picture.
No, I think because like your girls will always take like pictures of you like going out, and I try not to judge a man's profile, but then I think this is like kind of judging us, but I think there's a fine line between too posed a picture where I'm like, who took that of you? That is like,
a bit weird. Much.
And then also like a mirror selfie, not a fan when that's the picture on the app. I know you find that an ick, but I don't find it an ick. But for a dating app, I'm like, show me like you out and about. Show me with your friends. Show me like your personality.
Yeah, I get you.
I think Raya's really fun though, just because there's like, you know,
so many
like,
fun people on it.
Yeah, there is fun people. There's a lot of hockey people on it right now because obviously I'm in hockey territory and I'm literally looking at them and I'm like,
oh my God, I love that. But do you know what? I do think I've heard horror stories on dating apps, but then I feel like there are good stories to dating apps. Like my brother and his girlfriend met on a dating app, which I think is so mental.
Wait, American girlfriend?
No, my older brother.
Okay. Which one did they meet on?
I want to say maybe Hinge.
I do feel like Hinge is the one with the most success rate. Like my sister's best friend met her husband on Hinge, and or was it Bumble? I can't remember, but I think it might have been Hinge, and they sent like whichever one it was, they sent her a like package when she got married.
Stop it!
Because they met on that dating app. I thought that was so funny.
That's so like fun.
I know. I was like maybe, but like okay. I think dating apps are great. I do. However, I would like to meet somebody the old-fashioned way.
I do like the old-fashioned way, but the thing is with like this way of the world, I just feel like, I think especially in the UK, like, I just don't, I mean, look, maybe because I'm not looking for it, I don't attract that, but like, I can't remember the last time I've heard a story where someone's like, oh, this man just came up to me and like bought me a drink and started a conversation with me, and then, you know, one thing turned into another. Like, I can't remember the last time I've had that kind of story.
And okay, like I'm going to say this with like a pinch of salt, guys, because it's not necessarily always true, but most people have agreed with me that I've said it to them. I don't find British men particularly forward. And I think that's where the issue is when you're going out. And like I've gone out with like my friends when I was in a relationship and I wasn't looking anything like whatever. And like my friends were looking, and like men, it's like almost like they just look at you from across the bar and like expect you to say something.
Do you know what I also think? I feel like a lot of British men, and again, this is like speaking generally, like I'm not being like every British man, but from my experience anyway, I feel like, especially with like a lot of my friends as well, they're very much like boys. You know, when they go out, they're just like with the boys. Then
it's just so annoying, and I feel like it is kind of the way that you meet people in London, especially, it's like through friends or a dating app. So if you aren't out with your friends all the time, or you don't have a big friendship group, I feel like it is kind of the dating apps that like have to be the thing, which is hard because I also know like it's really time consuming.
My biggest fear as well would be being catfished, or like turning up and I'm like, dude, there's a murderer. That would be my biggest fear. Like, imagine going on a first date. Like, that would terrify me. Never met him. Like, what's he gonna do? Do you know what I mean? Kidnap me.
Hey, where was this energy when I was freaking out? You were like, it's so fine.
But I'm not gonna be like, no, don't. I was like, just message me. I also had you on for my friends, to be fair.
And I text you throughout. And I also was going to a local pub. I think that's the thing, guys. Like
tips. True. That's a good piece of advice.
Let's do a tips. Let's we've talked about the dating apps. Obviously, I wouldn't say any are better than the other from what I've experienced. I'm definitely finding a lot of cowboys on the ones here right now. Yummy. But I don't think there's any that are better than the others. So like, if you want to do it, my advice would be just download them all, because like,
yeah, you might as well.
It can give you like a bad sense. If you have a bad experience on one, you might not want to download the others. So I just like flat out would download whatever ones your friends are using. And then I would also say make it a fun thing to set up your profile. Like sit with your friends.
Get the girls around.
Wine. Yeah, like make it fun. Like,
get the canapes out.
We did that with like Amelia and her birthday. We like went through like the men that were coming up. Like make it a fun experience, because it is daunting. It is like time consuming, and you want to go into it with a positive headspace. So that would be
a word of advice. Yes, I would give you guys a piece of advice, but to be quite frank, I've got no experience from it, so no advice from me today. Red flags, green flags. Hit me.
Okay, green flags, very niche. He puts you on the inside of the sidewalk.
Okay.
Now,
that's very, like, I feel like my grandpa would do that. Do you know what I mean?
No, it is, honestly, like, don't you laugh at me.
Sorry.
I stand by this. Like, a gentleman, like, thinks about these things. I don't know. It's just a weird thing.
No,
and I actually saw a girl on TikTok talking about it the other day. She went on a first date, and the guy, like, moved her to the inside of the sidewalk and then, like, had his arm around her, and she was like, I would also say, like, opening the car door, pulling out the chair. Like, I just think, especially in the beginning, it should be a little bit of, like...
Yeah, holding the door open.
Yeah, like, it just should be. Like, you know, like, taking your coat, like, come on. Like, it's easy. It takes 2 seconds. Other green flag is checking in around the date. Like, the afternoon being, like, looking forward to seeing you tonight. Does 7 p.m. still work for you?
Yes, actually, that's such a good point.
To, like, someone negate the anxiety.
Also, I feel like if someone was to organise a date with me, for example, and then it was like confirmed, but then I didn't hear from them, I would be like, wait, are we still going? Or do you know what I mean? I feel like it's quite nice to have like a green flag for me actually is a fourth going man, like someone who just like is one step ahead. They don't require you to think, like they just take over, they take control, you know, like they're like, yeah, 7 p.m. tonight. To like 3 hours before, 7 p.m. tonight. Here, see you there. Can't wait. Woo!
No, it is like such a thing. And I think especially at the beginning of dating, like you don't know them, like it's nervous. Like you're like, are they going to stand me up? And Tinderman did that. He texted me at 12 and was like, we still good for 7 p.m. tonight. And
Love
I was
that.
like, love, love. I also think, look, guys, I'm not saying they should have to pay for everything. I just think the first few drinks, I always offer, but I do love it. Like, especially if you're not going somewhere expensive and it's just like a local pub. Like, just being like, let me get the first few rounds. Like, he didn't let me that date. Like, he didn't let me get anything. And I offered. I always offer. I want to be respectful. But I think the first date, my green flags are when he's a little bit like manly. As you said, forthcoming, basically.
No,
I just think like, be the man.
I agree. And also, I just think it's, I don't know, like you said, like I wouldn't expect someone to pay for something all the time, but like even when George is like, oh, would you want to drink? I'll get you a drink. I'm like, that just makes me feel, I don't know, like it just makes me feel loved and like, that's so kind. Like I just feel like it's quite a nice gesture to do from a man, and I think it's not necessarily a small gesture, but it kind of is a small gesture and it goes a very long way.
I agree. I do think that. I also think having a good relationship with your family is a green flag. And I say that with a caveat because like if your family's treated you badly, like it's different. But I think like if you and your family like there's no like obviously underlying things and you just like make the effort with like your younger sister to like check in, or like your brother, or like you call your parents every once in a while just to like check in, like I like that sort of thing. Like it's different if you don't have a good relationship, but like just being proactive about like looking out for the people in your life is a 100%. Big thing for me.
If George didn't get on with my family, it'd be a big no-go. Like, no, it's not
that's
happening.
The thing. Like, you want them to get on with your family, you want to get on with their family, like that sort of thing. And then my other biggest green flag would just be like comfortable in his skin. So he's like you know, just like funny, like confident, like just like loves himself. So that he will be a good partner. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you do have to love yourself before you date.
Oh my God, you have to love yourself before you can love someone else. You can't love someone else before you love yourself. Like, if you are not in love with yourself and happy with yourself, there is no chance that you can provide love for someone else. Like, you can't do it. I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree. What are your other green flags? Give me some more green flags. What should I be looking for?
Green flags. What do I did have one in my head. Oh, communication. Communication is key for me. If someone leaves me hanging, forget it. Like, I'm not chasing you. Like, it takes 2 seconds to send a text. It's as easy as that. Do you know what I mean? Like, just keep me in the loop. Even like, do you know what I mean? Like, even, you know, I live with George, but like, we still just keep each other in the loop with each other's days. Like, if plans change, he'll just be like, oh, I'm not going to make it home for dinner tonight, I'm going for a drink. Cool, no problem, you've let me know. Like, it's just keeping one another in the loop and just ensuring that like you both are kind of in the know of each other. And it's not being a psycho and needing to know, I don't need to know George's every step, but I just think, especially in like starting to date as well, realistically, maybe if you're long distance or even if you're not, like your texting or calling is the main form that you're really going to get to know someone. And I think if someone is poor at that, then I personally, that would be a big red flag for me if someone just left me hanging for days on end to reply.
I do agree, because I think if you do really want to reply to somebody, like, I get it, I'm the worst right now, like, I don't reply because I'm just overstimulated. Oh my God, overstimulated. But if you like a boy, like, obviously if I was like dating someone right now, I would be texting them. So like when they don't, even if it's in the beginning, I'm like, you're just not that interested. But
that's the thing. It's like, if you don't want to speak to me, you're clearly not interested in me.
I do think the communication, though, like letting you just know like what's going on, you're right, is such a big thing. Like, I need to add that to my list.
Yeah, communication for me is probably the main thing. Obviously, honesty, like even at the beginning, the smallest little white lies, I don't want to hear it, because if you're white lying right now, what's that going to turn into? You know, like, just be honest with every single thing. If you're like doing, I don't even know what a white lie could be, but just don't do it. Like, just say the truth. Even if you're like maybe a little bit embarrassed about the truth, I'd rather hear the truth than some shitty little white lie, which then I find out is a lie, because I'm just going to think, well, if you're lying about that, what else are you lying about, you know?
But then I'm like, be confident. If there's something that you think is like embarrassing, like, why do you think that? Why? Like, no, just own your shit on this date. And like, I would find that, like, if someone was embarrassed about something, tell me either whether it's a hobby or they'd been cheated on or whatever, like, whatever they were embarrassed about. If they owned it, I would find that sexy, because confidence is sexy.
100%. I also just think there's just no point. Like, what is the point in building a relationship on lies?
Snaps for Lissie, guys. Snaps. I'm like,
do you know what a lot of people say is a red flag, though? This is about George.
oh God, I'm scared.
I don't find it bad, but he will always, when he puts his phone on the side, he'll always have it turned down. He never leaves his phone facing up. And his argument is that when he goes to pick it up, he just goes like that. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, guys.
But there's been times when we've been out and like my friends have been like, why does George always have his phone facing down? Like, what's he trying to hide? I'm like, I don't fucking know.
Guys, also, like, George is just so not the person that would ever do anything like that. Like, that's why this is so funny. If I had even an inkling, I'd be like, let's go, like, you get into it right now. But, like,
that's
no,
why I'm like, I don't even care. I'm literally like, it's fine.
I do feel like he's just like, I can literally visualize him having this conversation with you and being like, I don't know, my phone just, like, if it's face down, like, when I pick it up, then it's face up. Like, what do you mean, Lissie? Like, that's literally, like, logic.
He's like, it's practicality. And I'm like, okay, fine.
No, like, I truly believe he sees it that way. So,
valid.
I don't always think that's a red flag, because I do think, like, with somebody I was, like, involved with, they always just put their phone down so that, like, in the same way I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. So when, like, you're deep in a conversation, you're not getting distracted by the notifications popping up.
Yeah.
So, like, I never, like, I think if you think it's a red flag, maybe you don't trust that person.
100%. Like, I've never seen it, I don't see it as a red flag. I'm also like, you can't really hide anything from me, to be quite frank.
Sorry, I need you to, like, just quickly.
Oh my god, it's like Christmas.
Yeah, sorry guys, it's really distracting me. I'm looking outside, I'm like, what month am I in? I could have sworn it was April, like, 4th or 3rd. What other red flags? So a lot of people think having a girl best friend is a red flag. I don't necessarily agree.
That's an interesting take, actually. A girl best friend.
Think it depends on the situation. I do truly think it depends on the situation, because I just think, like, if you don't trust the person, like, why are you with them? Is my like honest opinion. And, like, I'm going to use my brother as an example, which is surprising because well, I don't know how much everyone loves me. But he has a girl best friend that he's literally had since he was. They've been best friends for, like, I want to say, like, over 15 years.
That's a long time.
And, like, they just have no interest in each other that way. But they, like, we love her. And, like, she brought her new boyfriend to meet my brother and his girlfriend. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I've seen a lot of pure, genuine, like, you grow up together, you get on, and you stay friends. I think I get it if he's met her, like, a year ago. She's really, like, attractive. Maybe they're flirty. It's obviously different. Or if she's acting a type of way towards him, or whatever it might be. Like, you get psycho girls. But I do think sometimes when people grow up in small towns, or, like, they go to uni and they're, like, on sports teams, like, you do just have friends of the opposite sex without it being weird.
I can see how it happens. Like, I don't think it's necessarily a red flag. I don't think it's a red flag as long as both the girl and the boy who are the best friends, or the boy and the boy, the girl and the girl, whatnot. I think it's knowing the boundaries and not stepping over the boundaries. And I think, you know, if I was with a boy who was texting his girl best friend every single day when, like, we were in bed, or, like, really always inviting her to, like, our dates, or, like, just stepping over the line, then I would find it a fucking issue. Or, like, if he was seeing her more than he was seeing me, I would be like, come on, like, do you know what I mean? But I think if you understand each other's boundaries, then there's not a problem.
I do just think also, like, I agree, like, you respect the boundaries, but also, like, trust your partner. Like, if you're dating someone, like, trust your instincts. If you, like, really think there's an issue, then first of all, like, should you even be dating this person? If you feel like they're flirting with the girl best friend, but, like, also, like, trust the person that you're choosing to date. Like, I don't know, like, I just think that's the one that's, like, really twisted, and I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with me on that, which is fine. But, like, if you are confident in yourself, you are confident in your partner, like, why is there an issue? Like, I do just think people make it an issue sometimes when it's not, and then they make it weird. And, like, I don't know, I lost some guy friends because of these reasons, and, like, it is just, like, I literally had no interest in them in these places. I just really valued them as friends, and I lost them because their, like, girlfriends had issues with them being close to girls.
Yeah. I think, I mean, when it comes to, like, stuff like that, I'm a bit like, what's the problem? Like,
but then, like, you always want to respect the relationship, and I'm happy they're happy, but it's just, like, I was sad because I lost some friends, and, like, there was just no, and I was also in a relationship, guys.
Yeah, that's mental. I also think, like, girls and boys can be friends. Like, I don't really understand why there is so much stigma around, like, girls and boys being really good friends and, like, not having feelings for one another. Like, I do think, like, you can be friends and then not be anything. Like, I feel like there is such a stigma around that. Like, people are like, no, they can't. And it's like, why not?
You have a lot of guy friends. You have that, like, whole group.
Yeah, literally. And, like, they're, like, literally some of my, like, bestest of friends. And, like, it's never been anything more. Do you know what I mean?
And you love George, and you love them. Like, it's not... I just feel like people...
problem.
I just feel like people make it weird. And, like, I hope in New York I get to meet guys who I can be friends with, because sometimes guys, a guy friend is great. Girls are great for girlhood, but sometimes, like, there's nothing like brutal honesty from a guy friend that just...
That's true.
Just gets you, you know?
And what about your... Oh, you want to go?
No, you go, babe.
I was just about to ask you another question.
Ask me a question.
What about your ex?
Oh, I feel like my ex are kind of the same as red flags.
Yeah, I guess. My ex is a boy taking a mirror selfie. Topless is even worse.
I knew you were going to say that.
Just don't do it. I don't want to see it. Like, if I wanted to see it, like, do you know what I mean? But then, you know, two can tango. Maybe they don't want to see my mirror pics, you know? You don't want to see me take a picture of the mirror?
She said this to me the other day, guys. That's why I'm laughing. I was like, bitch, you literally take pictures of the mirror for me.
I know. So if you don't like it, then don't follow me, okay? But I do personally find that an ick, and I don't know why, and I don't know if that's offensive, because, like, I do that, but...
No, I do think people do find it an ick, like, guys taking those sort of pictures of themselves. I kind of find, like, acting, and I think this is both an ick and a red flag, but, like, acting too laddie for the sake of laddie on, like, a night out. Like, you're, like, trying to impress the boys over, like, me, or, like, your, like, or whoever it may be. Like, if I see my friend's boyfriend and, like, we're all out with them and, like, their friends, and they try and act like, when you know it's just not the way they normally act because you know them or something, and they act like all, like, too cool for school.
Yeah.
That gives me the ick. But I also think it's a red flag because they obviously care about what their friends think more than they care about what their girl thinks. But
very,
so
very
it's, like,
true.
both.
Do you know what I hate as well? And this reminded me the other day because someone drove past and I was just like, ugh. Playing your music just outrageously loud with your windows down. And it's even worse when it's shite music. I'm like, what makes you think that you... Because 9 times out of 10, they think they are the coolest person on earth. And I look at them and I think, fuck.
You are making me die. Your ex is so niche. Like, I absolutely love it.
I hate, like, that. Like, absolutely not.
I do think, like, it's, like, such a guy thing, but then I'm trying to think, like, me and my sister have been bopping out recently, so maybe it's, like, me too.
Oh, don't get me wrong, when I do it, that's completely fine. When someone else does it, however, it's not okay.
No, I do agree, and I also think, like, you get such specific icks to yourself, and I feel like that's why it is a funny topic. But then I saw a really interesting take. This girl was like, maybe it's not an ick, maybe it's just you have a type. And you, like, if you meet someone that's similar to your type and then they do one of the things that kind of, like, you don't love, you view it as an ick. And I was
also,
like,
to be fair, I do sometimes think, like, with my ick, sometimes I'm like, to be honest, if George did that, I wouldn't find it an ick.
I think it is if you like the partner. Like, I had an ick with a boy, like, and then I overcame it.
That's actually quite impressive. That's quite impressive because I think...
don't know how that happens.
When you get an ick with a boy, I think, personally, there is no going back. That's, like, the main reason why me and my ex split. I got the ick, and I could not shift that ick. Like, the ick was icking.
I wish I'd kept my ick, but guys, don't overcome the ick, because it honestly ended up 10 times worse than it ever could have. So
it's true.
I do think sometimes you can overcome the ick, but just listen to your initial ick. Just listen.
I agree.
Don't try and overcome it.
No. But another ick for me as well is a bad eater.
And
someone
what do you
who
mean?
Like shovels food in their mouth and is like really messy and just like, ugh. It's like, whoa, slow down a hot second.
That's kind of me.
eating really, like, no.
Do you find it kind of an ick when a guy, like, doesn't... It's not necessarily a picky eater, because you can be a picky eater and, like, take care of yourself. But, like, when they just, like, order takeout all the time and just eat junk and, like, don't really, like, know how to cook. And, like... and then they just don't really know how to cook, and, like, you don't have to be a great cook, but you know what, you know what it is? It feels like it gives uni. And yes, I'm 27. Like, so, like, when a guy can't take care of himself in a food way, just orders shit food, like, can't cook, just, like, leaves a mess of the food about, like, it just gives, like, we're back in uni. And
yeah, like, their dirty plates on the floor, like, ew, ew, ew. Anyway, just looking at the time, we're moving on. We're moving on to this.
I'm like, I got more. I'm like, wait, guys.
Oh, you tell me more if you want.
Okay, wait, let me think quickly. Let me list some. Bad hygiene. So,
yes.
Like, smelly, don't shower, any of that.
Gross.
Like, clothing can be a bit of an ick for me. I have very specific what I like them in, which is a me problem. Like, that, they can have an ick about what I wear, too. Like, I'm not judging here. I just have an ick about that. I think when they talk badly about women, like when we're out and they just, like, make a comment, or they're making a comment about a celebrity being, like, a hoe or whatever it is. Rude to the waiters. Rude when we're out and about. Like, just rude to people who are serving us.
Like, imagine someone who clicks at the table. Ew.
Yeah. And then I think not having an open mind. So, like, not willing to travel, not willing to try new things. Like if you're going to give me, like, you don't want to try anything with me, ick. Those are, like, big ones for me. Anyway, I'll actually just put them all on the story. I'm going to write out a list of, like, 100 and just put them on our story.
No, but I think they're all valid. They're all very valid. Do you know what I also think is a bit of an ick? Someone who's not motivated.
You hate this, and so do I. It is, like, what do you mean you, like, don't have life goals?
No, literally. Like, what do you mean you want to lie in bed all day in your pajamas and eat food and do nothing?
Like, are we building an empire together, babe, or am I building it and you're just, like, hopping on the back? It's different when we were younger. We're older now. Like,
I agree.
If I start dating someone, he's coming as a fully cooked chicken. He's got his life sorted. He loves himself. He loves his friends. He loves
marinated.
His family. He is marinated. I have to add a few specific spices to my taste, as he will do with me. But we are fully cooked roasted chickens here, and we are not settling for a child.
Babe. Absolutely, babe. Okay.
You may cut me off now.
The FaceTime Therapist. Woo! Okay, so, hey, firstly I want to say I'm loving your podcast so far. Thanks, girl. Or boy. I need your help, as I have been dating this guy for 6 months now. I'm really starting to like him. However, he keeps telling me he isn't ready for a relationship right now. Is this a sign that he doesn't want to be with me? Should I move on or should I wait?
Wait, how long have they been dating?
6 months. That's a tricky one. Do you know what I think?
You hit me, girlfriend.
I think if you're dating in a way that you may as well be going out, which by 6 months, like, you probably are, I think, what difference is it going to make by making yourself official? Like, what are you holding off for? Is it because you're still wanting to date other girls and us not be exclusive? Is it because you're waiting for someone else better to come around the corner and then it's easy to break it off because we're not exclusive? Because if you're being like you are in a relationship, then what is the problem by just saying, yep, we're official, we're girlfriend and boyfriend? You don't need to make a bigger whole ordeal about it, but you just have that agreement between you two.
I really agree. I don't like it, guys.
No, like I'm a bit like, what do you mean you're not ready? Because if you're not ready for a relationship, but you're still willing to talk to a girl and date her for 6 months, then that to me says you're basically in a relationship.
I really agree with the point of like of what you said, of you're already doing relationship things. Like, are you just waiting for somebody to come? Like, who's better?
Like, is he just trying to make his life easier by not making it official? So when there's someone else, it's easy to break off?
Like, I get, like, taking things slow, and I do, and I think taking things slow can be smart, especially if you've been hurt in the past, or, like,
and also,
maybe they've been cheated on, or, like, whatever, but I do think, like, no communication about, like, where this is leading, or, like, no kind of being like, hey, I wanted to date for, like, 6 months before we became official to really, like, you know, we're older now, before we really jump into what could be the rest of our lives, like, yeah. I wanted to take it slow. I do respect all that, but I don't love the 6 months things personally.
I also just think I completely get how, you know, you both need to be ready before you kind of get into that. But I'm not going to lie, if you're dating for 6 months, one person for 6 months, then like that says to me, like, if you're not ready, then you shouldn't be doing that because that's unfair on the other person. I
agree. Like, you're spitting pure facts, babe, because I just think, like, it's a long time.
It is.
Like, if you aren't sure of somebody by then,
will you ever be?
Yeah. Like, I mean, look, I take things with a pinch of salt that I say, guys, because I am like a hopeless romantic where I'm like, you should just know. And like especially after 6 months, like, come on. But I get that everyone's different and has different relationship trauma. I would say, look, if you speak to him or her or whoever it is, and they're like, oh, I just don't want to like be together, like I'm not sure, then I would say leave. But like maybe speak to them first, see what they're feeling. Like, is there a reason they haven't committed yet? Like, is it a past relationship thing? Are they nervous? Do they not know you're on the same page? Like, yeah. I would always have a conversation first, so you're never wondering what if. And I think there can be miscommunications in adult relationships. So have the conversation. If it's not well received, then move on to bigger and better things, girl. Because
I agree. Because also, if it's not well received, then like you guys clearly aren't meant to be together. And as much as that sucks at the time, and like you don't want to face the reality, like actually, if he doesn't think you're right or good enough or right for him, then he clearly isn't good enough or right for you. So you go chase those bigger dreams, girl.
Guys, this is why Lissy's my therapist. I'm like sitting here. It's like I'm listening to my own podcast, and I'm like, snaps for Lissie. I'm like, yeah, amen. Woo.
Okay, the juicy secret is pretty to the point this week. It's pretty snappy. It's pretty to the point.
I'm actually really scared, guys.
I fancy my best friend's boyfriend.
No, absolutely not. I'm sorry. Absolutely not. You cannot do that.
Wild.
Sorry, no, guys. This is my biggest fear. Like,
do you know what though? I have never in my lifetime, if my friend or best friend is dating someone, there's no part of me which even looks at them in that remote way. Like, it doesn't even like click in my brain to even start looking at them to think, oh, could I like them? Like, I don't know. Like, that just doesn't even cross my mind.
I have a firm belief that you're supposed to view them as like brothers.
Yes.
Like your annoying little brother is how you're supposed to view your best friend's partner. Like, you're supposed to have that relationship, a brother-sister relationship. Like, because I do think if it's like your best friend, I think you should be close with the partner, because I think that becomes like a big thing, especially if like you're single and you live near them, whatever. Like, I do just think it's good to like feel comfortable so you can go hang out with them and like also just like build that relationship. But like, what do you mean you've allowed yourself to fancy? Like, does your best friend know? Does the guy know?
I just don't know how it can get to that point. Like, I agree. Like, I want my bestest friends to be close with my boyfriend. Like, I wouldn't want there to not be a relationship there. Like, I love that George is like best friends with some of my best friends.
Yeah.
But I just got like, if someone came up to me and was like, I fancy George, I'd be like, well, he's taken, babe.
What would you do if I literally like came over to your house and was like, Lissie, I fancy George? Like, what the fuck?
I don't even know. Like, that's such a wild statement to make.
Like, do you flirt with him?
Like, it's just
I'm confused.
mental.
I think different. Okay, look, like if you really just do fancy him and like you haven't done anything about it, you're never gonna tell your best friend. You're not gonna act weird. You're not flirting with him. Like, different.
Manifest a boy who's the exact same, babe, but don't go for the boy.
Yeah, please. Like, no boy is worth it. And maybe you don't fancy him. Maybe
you fancy his qualities.
Like the idea of him, because your friend has this amazing guy with good qualities that you're going to look for in a partner.
Let's hope that that's the case.
Let's do that. Wow.
Anyway,
that is juicy, though.
Let's leave the podcast on that note. Not sure how I feel about that one.
No, guys, I feel a little uncomfortable. I'm not.
Interesting one. Anyway, we hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. Obviously, give it a 5-star rating as well, if you haven't already.
Yeah. To our friends, you suck, as I said last episode. You suck.
We need to put it on our story, actually. I need to do that. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what you guys want us to discuss next week. Because we've kind of wrapped up the boys.
Oh, there's so much more I could say about men.
I know. Well, maybe we should another topic. No, I feel like we should mix it up for a week.
No, I think we had some topics that we were considering. We were like talking about maybe doing one on like self-love, on like
we did.
routines, taking care of yourself, confidence, manifesting, like any of those sort of vibes.
Yes, let's do that.
So if you have any specific take on those that you would like us to kind of get into, then please do let us know.
Absolutely. Please do.
We're at your command.
Too right. Well, can't wait to see you next Wednesday.
Love you, babe. Text me when I wake up.
Love you too. I will do. Don't you worry. You'll get a morning text tomorrow morning.
Oh, my God, guys. Close call. All right. Love you.
Love you. Bye.